Alright, so as I was explaining earlier, mainly all I do when I start trading is first I will go to the 4 hour, and let me explain this again. Let's actually use this area. Alright, so on the 4 hour, we make a new high. Alright. For 4 hour, we make a new high. We can see here we made a new high, and then price pulls back. When price pulls back, I'm normally looking for a reversal. So I will go into like probably in 1 minute, 5 minute. We're going to use the 1 minute. Actually, it shows you right here. Okay, so here was the drop. And then price starts making higher highs and higher lows. And once price, because when price is coming down on a downtrend, it's going to look like this. Like this, making lower highs and lower lows. And for you to be able to tell that, price just have to constantly keep doing that. If it stops, then it could possibly come the other way and start doing the same thing. If it's not doing either one of these, that means it's consolidating. And I don't trade those. I don't trade consolidation. So if it's not doing this, then I'm not trading it. So basically, if the trend is not, if you can't see a trend, if it's not trending, that's all sloppy, but if it's not trending, making higher highs and higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows, then I'm not trading it. And then on a higher time frame, I'm waiting for price to, like, let's say with NAS right now, well, not right now, last week I was only trading NAS buys, right? And people was like, how come I don't sell? It's because we was on the uptrend at the time. So I'm trying to catch the bigger move from down here. So every time NAS dropped, I was waiting for the trend to change, because you will be able to tell when the trend is changing, because here goes the drop that everybody's probably selling on. And then once the 4 hour gets done pulling back, you'll see the trend change and it'll come all the way up. And that will be the 4 hour candle looking like this. The 4 hour candle will probably be like one day it'll be up. Here goes the pullback. And then this is where you will be entering. And then it comes up to make a new high. And it kind of does that like all the time. And whenever it stops doing that, that lets you know that the trend was changing. The trend is going to change. When it doesn't, when price fails to create a higher high, now you got a lower high. Now it can come down and do the same thing. Understandable? No? Makes sense? No sense? So if we're on an uptrend, you're looking for this. We got an uptrend. You're trying to get the bottom of these. So you would go into your smaller time frame, and you'll look for when it's dropping. You want to look for price dropping. Once it stops creating lower lows, so like once it comes up and it doesn't come past the low that it made, then now this is a higher high, and you can probably see this to the upside. Now I'm gonna show it. This is so much easier when it's not on my phone. And there will be times where people would get in, like the 4 hour, this will be the 4 hour, and people get in on these, and then they'll notice how price ends up dropping. So this is why they sell. But the whole time, this is the pullback for the 4 hour or the hour time frame, or whatever a higher time frame that's over an hour, whatever you use. Because I use 5 hours, sometimes 6 hours. I've been using the 8 hour lately. They think this is a sell off. They think we're going to sell off, but it's just a pullback on a higher time frame until it does what I was explaining before. Until price comes up, comes down, stop creating this. So now this is no longer the trend. We could possibly go down, or what tends to happen sometimes in the market will price will kind of play a game. They'll probably come up, come down, come up, and then come down. But as it comes down, it starts creating higher highs back up to the upside. It still don't break this, but it'll start the trend again up here. So sometimes price will play around. You just got to make sure. That's why I kind of hold, because sometimes price do play around, but you just got to make sure that it's still staying on its structure on a higher time frame. So right now, NAS has broke structure on a higher time frame, and I'm no longer looking for buys right now. I'm currently looking for only sells, nothing else. I don't know how to clear my chart. Chart is all messy. It's like lines everywhere. Yeah, NAS is buying. I think I'm gonna go on the higher time frame to see what's up. Yeah, so I'm not too sure about NAS. NAS will need to come up all the way back to where we dropped from. So here we made a high, came down, made that low, made a high right here, came down, made a low, came up, made a high right here, came down, made a low. I need the 3 hour, well, I'm on a 3 hour, but the higher time frame to come up, break this, pull back, I enter, take it up. I hope that made sense. I hope that made sense, because that's basically it. And if it doesn't, then this will only be a pullback for sales. So if it doesn't, if it comes up, comes down, comes up, comes down, comes up, comes down, and it comes up and it doesn't pass this, so it's still a lower high, we can take it and let it break through the low that it made. If it comes down here and it stops and it doesn't break the low that it made, then it will probably come back up and start creating higher highs. And if it's not doing that, it's most likely consolidating, and I don't trade that. I do not trade when price is doing this, and you just can't tell. This is like over here, you can tell price is coming up, price is coming down, price is coming up, price is coming down, price is coming up, price is coming down, up, down, up, down. And I'm just getting, every time it gets down, I'm finding a position where price will come down, where it's coming down, and it changes on a smaller time frame, it comes back up. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's how I trade. Even with over here, I would have been selling it. I would have been selling it every time it comes up. Every time it comes up, I'll be trying to sell it from there until price would have came, like, let's say here, price came down, made a low. The only reason that I'll probably change my bias is if price came up and broke the structure up here and made a high, came down, made a low, came up, made a high, came up, made a, I mean down, made a low, high, low, until it stops coming up and making new highs. Makes sense? Even right here, price was finna come up and make a new high. It was finna make a new high, but it failed. And then look what happens. See, price failed to make a high, came down, dropped more. Came up here, pulled back, like came down, came up, make a high. Boom. Came up, made a high. Boom. Same thing, same thing. And then right here, we do break structure. Here we came up, came right here. Still busted the low though. You're just waiting for, when you're going for buys, I'm gonna show you. When you're going for buys, you just want to keep seeing it break the high. So I come down, break the high. That is what you're looking for. Same thing with lows. You just want to keep seeing price break the low. Did I say break the low for the other one? Break the highs. So you want to see break the highs, break the lows. If it's not doing that, then it most likely might consolidate or go back the other way. Start breaking that way. And that's how I trade. Nothing different. No indicators, no nothing, just this. Takes a lot of patience, and I trust it. I trust it a lot. I don't want to be cocky. I do lose trades, but I don't lose a lot of trades. I stick to the plan. If I see, like, sometimes I even see this happen, like it'll come down, break structure, and then come back up. I still hold. How I kind of trade is, it's gonna have to prove. So price literally has to do this for me to close the trade. Like price will have to come all the way down here and like show me that it wants to be down there. Because what will happen is price will do this. Price will do this and then pick up the trend again. These sometimes, most of the time, be higher time frame pullbacks. Because if price is just going straight up, if this is what it's doing on a 1 minute, this is what it's going to look like on an hour candle. Just a bullish candle going up. And then when it drops on the smaller time frame, when it drops, then that is a pullback. Dang, this doesn't make sense. This is the pullback. This is the higher time frame, the bullish. And then when the smaller time frame pulls back, this will be the next candle. And then all the way back up, boom, to create a high. And it's just high, low, boom. Makes sense? Hope so. That's how I trade. Nothing different. No nothings. No nothings. Yeah, that's how I trade. Let me get on Trading View so I can clear this off. It's like lines all over the chart. Oh my god. But yep. So like right here, I've been looking for this. I can see where the trend was changing. Came up, made a low, came up, stopped making a low here. Then it came up, made a little dip here, came up, made a dip, went up. It stopped making this low. This would have been my first indication. Once I seen rejections down here, to come down and make a low, then boom, I would have got in. Even right here. Matter of fact, look at it. This is when it actually took off. Price was coming up, made a high, made that low, came up. It was going to come make this low, but it stopped right here. Rejections, boom, I would have got in. And then you see price. Let me clear it again. Then you see price keep doing the same thing. Up, down, up again. Let's see how it comes down right here. Up again, down right here. Made a little high here. We did bust this. This is what I was talking about. Price would do this, but it's gonna have to literally come all the way down here for me to close the trade. But price will play with you. Most of the time, it's just doing the same thing. It'll come down, up again. Made a new high. I'm just worried about it making new highs. So right here, we kind of fluctuate. I think this was a little consolidation. Comes up, comes down, enter, comes up. Here, I even avoided this fact. That was my fault. I was explaining last week. I was avoiding this fact for some reason. I don't know why. But as you can see, we was already on a downtrend. And how I was explaining it, I was on the opposite side of the team. No, it's not right here. Oh yeah, it is right here. No, it's right here. Okay. I was on the opposite team last week, where price was coming up. It made this, came down, and you can see here. You can see here, it failed to come back up, but I was in buy still. So I was doing on the opposite team. I was trying to buy it when it was showing indications that we was going to sell, because it didn't come up and make a new high. And I was like the one chasing the one going up. That's why it was short term. So it even happened right here. We was at a resistance too. But yeah, you can see price doesn't come all the way up. It fails to make a new high. And then you start to see us fall. Fails again to even try to beat the last high that was up here. Then continues to fall. Buys up. Fails to make a high. So if it would have came up here, it would have been good. But it didn't. Failed to do that and kept falling. Right here. Came up. Came down. Now we are waiting right here to see if it's going to come up and come past. If it does, when anything makes a new high, it's going to come down and make a new low. If same vice versa, if it makes a new low, then it's going to come up and make that next lower high. And it's going to come up from, so right here in this situation, we made that low already. I kind of let's say the higher low is like a trampoline. It bounces off and comes up with momentum. So yeah. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's the best way I can explain it. I kind of just, yeah, comes up, it has to come down, comes up, it has to come down. I'm buying when it's, so if we're bearish right now, when it comes up, I wait to see if it wants to, so inside of when it comes up, inside is going to look like this. So when it's coming up, it's going to look like this on a smaller time frame. And as soon as I see price breaks coming up and it's not making any more highs and it's breaking through the lows, then we can possibly see it come back down. And I'll enter right here and I'll be on a higher time, it'll be on a higher time frame. So that would be our higher time frame pulling back, because this is the 1 hour, and you can see the 1 hour is making the same structure. So we're coming up to make a high, and then I'll zoom in to the smaller time frame to see what's going on, and you'll see the trend change. Take it back down. All right, y'all. That's exactly how I trade, and yeah. Yeah, I totally don't feel sick. I think I feel sick. All right, but yeah, that's how I trade, y'all. And I recorded it. I'm finna see how I upload this, but yeah.